Hello, friends. Mortgage Mark here. Welcome to this week's edition of By the Charts. Let's hop into it and get cooking. Let's see what we got here. All right, housing updates. Rates, they've been getting better and better. Remember, green is good. So thanks to the recent flare up in COVID, we got rates coming up a little better now because people aren't so keen on the economy. Having said that, house sales are still rocking. New construction family permits, check this out. It's the best it's been in almost a decade. I mean, it's the highest on this chart. It's about 8 different years, but that's amazing. So the housing market, as you know, if you're in the industry, things are cooking. Rents, check how much rents have declined inner city versus suburbs. Suburbs are still going strong. I just thought that was interesting. COVID, a charts update wouldn't be complete with a COVID update. As you guys know, if you're here watching in Dallas-Fort Worth, we've had a pretty recent spike as of late. The last 2 days, we've finally seen decline. That's really good. They think just in general, in the U.S., we should see a peak around mid-August as far as cases, which means fatalities peak in September. It is what it is. Just wear a mask. Let's be safe. I thought this was unfortunate. It's interesting, but unfortunate. The virus, at least in California here, showing the uptick in the youth, kids under the age of 18. So there goes that debate as far as like kids can't get it and all this other stuff, can't spread it and all this stuff you hear about the schools. I'm not trying to get, my stance on it, but I'll just tell you it's as a parent, that's what scares you the most, right? Economic updates. Check this out. This is interesting. They actually track the hours of how much people work. So here we are coming out of the pandemic, all of a sudden a little spike, and check out that drop, the number of hours that somebody's working each week. So wear your mask. As I've said, it helps for that economic recovery. Be safe. Not going to go into that. Small businesses are all in trouble if we don't do what we're supposed to do so they can stay open. I thought this was interesting. You have an 87% chance of knowing who's going to be the president before election night. It's the 3 months of the stock market leading up to the election. So August, September, October. Watch the stock market for the next 90 days. We're less than 100 days away from having the elections come through fruition. So having said that, if the 3 months leading up to the election day, if it's a positive market, the incumbent wins. So if the stocks end up, from August 1 till the end of November, or not the end of October, beginning of November, stocks are up, 87% chance Trump's your president again. Stocks are down, no matter how much the margin, just a minus 2.6, this is a correct calculation. A minus 3.3, correct. Only 3 times in history since 1928 has this been wrong. That's incredible to me. So there you go. I've given you the secret. Place a bar bet with a friend on November 1st and see if you're right. Which one's better, Republican or Democrat? Depends on when you ask. So if it's the middle, these 4 decades in the middle, it's absolutely split even. The idea here, and you can see the first handful of years, 28 through 80, is Democrats. And you go to current date, it's still Democrats. I think the idea there is that the Democrats will spend a lot more government money, which helps stimulus, all that fun stuff. I think that's just what I read from that article, but there you go. I think these are fun. Check it out, guys. Yay, Dallas. We're number 2. This stinks in COVID cases. COVID deaths even since May 1st. Phoenix, get your act together, guys. Dallas, let's wear a mask. Everybody else, big city, just humming along, but we're the outliers here, these 2. When was the last time you used cash? I thought this was interesting because I don't use cash, period. I just haven't and don't. It's not my thing. But the reality is it does become honestly something I didn't think about with COVID. You don't want to have a whole lot of handling of money. And so you can see I'm in this 3%. We can't remember the last time we used cash. These are 17% in the last 24 hours, a third of you in the last 7 days, about a quarter in the last month, but 18% haven't done it since lockdown began, and about 5% since 2020. So really and truly, it looks like a quarter of the country has changed the way they do cash transactions. Also interesting to know, this is good for the housing market, in my opinion. How many people are likely to move if they can permanently work from home? Turns out 28% of them, or at least likely or somewhat likely to move. So you got a quarter of the population that would move. A quarter of the population of the United States would move if they could work from home permanently. Think of that, what that would do for real estate. That is crazy to me, and it makes sense, especially if you're like San Francisco, where everything's super expensive. You can go 2 hours, outside the city, knowing that you can have a long commute if needed for 1 day in the office. But that makes total sense. But that's amazing. 1 out of 4. Drinking at home. I don't know. If you know me well enough, you know that this stuff always intrigues me. Drinking from home. Who's excited for going to a bar? Like 50% of the people aren't. That's what this blue line means. So like, You know, going to a bar, only 5%, 7% of the population is excited to go to a bar when everything's lifted. Eating out to dinner, you got here about 22% of the population super pumped. I don't know, 38%-ish is somewhat pumped. I just thought that was interesting. So that's it, team. If you guys need anything from a mortgage standpoint, let us know. As always, we thank you for watching. We hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.